that reel, those are just clips and short little edits from the entire hour-long podcast episode. So before you judge, I just want you to know that you have to listen to the entire episode to get context on any of this. The podcast episode is not a hit piece on WWE at all. I literally just speak my truth and speak about what happened, what went down, and how everything happened and what transpired. So before you judge and make assumptions, wait till Friday till you listen to the entire thing, because all I do is speak the truth, and I want you to hear the truth. And don't listen to clips that you see on social media, because they're just clips. Make sure you listen to the whole thing, and then let me know what you think.
All right, guys, this is about Carmella. It's the first time she's speaking on WWE not renewing her contract. We about to hear all the stuff behind it. And of course, we about to air some dirty laundry on this one. We will check out that and more at Toxic Ring Scandal.
I'm tired of being humble. I'm tired of letting people think they got a chance. The tribal chief is head and shoulders above everybody.
All right, we here at the locker room. Turnbuckle King here. Toxic Ring Scandal, a.k.a. KDH. We'll talk about Carmella breaks her silence on WWE not renewing her. You guys get the likes up as we come in. We are going to go over Carmella of this recent interview that she did on Barely Podcast. Now, Carmella, we know, is the inaugural Women's Money in the Bank winner. She won it once, then it was a controversy with James Ellsworth helping her. And, of course, she won it again when they ran that match back. And now that we know when she did win it for real, she did go on to become the WWE Women's Champion, then known as the WWE SmackDown Women's Championship. She won by cashing in on Charlotte Flair, and she became Women's Champion. Now, enough of that. Let's get into what you guys are here for. Now we know Carmella, she's been in WWE for 12 years. We know that once we heard a few days ago that WWE would not be renewing her contract, she said that she felt like she was ghosted and she was being punished because she had a baby. Now, the thing about it is, Carmella, she definitely came a long way. She definitely came from being a valet to win the Women's Championship. But the thing about it is where Carmella is, the landscape of WWE has changed drastically since we last saw in the WWE ring, which was back in 2023, I believe the beginning of 2023, so about 2 years ago. Since then, we know she did an interview with Chris Van Fleet. She went and spoke about, her giving birth to her son, and of course having nerve damage and everything else. And then next thing we know, we heard several months later that she will be not renewed by WWE. Now, we're going to hear more about that in a second. We'll see what she has to say. I know she said in the beginning, listen to the whole podcast, but before she did put out that statement, which was a few hours ago, she did say she's going to speak her truth. So we're going to hear her speak her truth on this podcast here. Let's check it out soon. And before you guys go any further with this whole Carmella said that she listened to the whole thing, first and foremost, I'm breaking it down at the locker room. And one thing you can do is you can be quiet.
Shut the fuck up.
And just let me listen. Wait till I finish what I have to say and how I break down this whole thing, because Carmella is full of BS. But let's see what she has to say first before I react to this.
I don't know what that is.
So you have been out of WWE for almost 2 years.
Yes.
But not by choice.
No.
So let's talk about it.
That's the whole point, to get people talking and to be bold in your face. Let's talk about it. Let's have the conversations that, women aren't having. Is it because I'm a woman? Is it because I had a baby? And it just feels like a shitty way to end a 12-year career with the company, like that this is how it ended.
But also to be treated like a human being and a woman,
right.
and someone who's dedicated 12 years of your life to this company.
He still has a job. We had a kid and he has a job, but I don't. I mean, I guess fast forward until a few weeks ago, and then I got a call saying that my contract was up in 10 days.
Everyone just ghosted.
Completely ghosted.
Everybody's getting sued if it was me.
What if this is the end of my career? Like, what am I doing with my life? What do I have to offer? Why wasn't I given an opportunity somewhere else?
Does it feel bittersweet though that all of your people are still there?
I feel like I'm being punished because I had a baby.
And men don't really have to think about it because they're men. They could change their mind.
Why would you want to be somewhere that doesn't want you? I wish more for women in general and moms, and especially athletes. I feel like you shouldn't have to choose one. Like, why can't you have both?
All right, that was Carmella, or Leah Van Dale, she goes by now. She was on Barely Famous podcast. She's speaking about how she felt like WWE ghosted her and she was punished for having a baby. And, they completely just, she had no warning, no head ups, no anything. Now, the thing about it is, Carmella, you've been out, like you said, for almost 2 years. I mean, let's be honest here. You did not only just have a baby, you also spoke on Chris Van Fleet when she spoke about having nerve damage after giving birth. Even if they didn't release you, you wasn't really even ready to wrestle. You've been hurt ever since you gave birth. I mean, if you guys remember that interview that she did 9 months ago, sometime last year.
Honestly, I actually have an injury from delivery, so I have a lot of nerve damage that happened, and my foot is kind of non-functional right now, so it's something that I never knew could happen during labor and delivery, but I have 2 herniated discs in my back, and that's correlated to my foot. So I haven't even been able to work out, I haven't been able to do anything that will get me back to the ring quite yet. Hopefully eventually I'll get there, but right now I'm just kind of working. I'm going to go be in physical therapy and things like that.
As a mom, specifically a new mom, I'm a new mom, I've only been a mom for 14 months. How 1 minute you can just be in the thick of it and feel like you're never ever gonna have your life back. You just feel like a shell of a human being. You feel like you haven't slept in forever, your hormones are all over the place, you have no time for anything other than the baby, and everything just feels like a fog. I am just realizing now that I had terrible postpartum anxiety and postpartum rage. I just thought that that was normal, and I didn't realize that it wasn't. And as moms, we just push through, we keep going because there's no other choice. You feel like you're just never gonna get out of that funk. You just feel like this is your life now, your life revolves around your baby, and it does to a certain degree. Obviously, we put our children first, or be able to leave the house without crippling anxiety of having to quickly rush back and get home as soon as I possibly can to get back with the baby. Especially with social media, I would look at other women who had babies and I'd be like, how are they looking so cute? How are they finding time to go to the gym? How are they finding time to do their hair and makeup? I just kept comparing myself to that and wondering what I was doing wrong. So A, social media is not real. So what people are putting on there, we have to remember that is not real life. And B, you have to give yourself grace, give yourself some time, and know that the stage you're in is not permanent, it's temporary, and things will always change. It's gonna get better. If you're scrolling on social media and seeing someone who's a new mom and their house is clean and they're all made up and their body looks perfect and everything is hunky-dory, maybe that's the way they're living. Maybe. 9 out of 10 times, no. I'm here to tell you that you will get out of that. I wish I could see more people posting the realities of being a new mom and knowing that I'm not alone in the thick of it and feeling like I'm never gonna feel like myself again. I was like, am I ever just gonna be able to watch Real Housewives again on the couch with a glass of wine and be left the hell alone by everybody so I can just watch my show without breastfeeding and without rocking the baby? And the answer is yes, you will. And I'm finally in that phase, and it's so amazing. It's so amazing to be a mom and take care of my son and be home with my family, but also do some for me. If you're not taking care of yourself, how are you to take care of your family? Social media is not real life. Stop comparing yourself to what you see on social media, and know that even when you're in the hard times, the dark times of postpartum, you will get out of it and you will get to the other side. And you will have time for yourself again, feeling a lot more of myself. And it's so nice. It's like not my old self, but it's my new self, and I love this version of me, and you'll get there too.
Now, Carmella, when she spoke on Chris Van Fleet, she spoke about how she had the nerve damage in her foot. Thing about it is, she was not ready to wrestle. It was no way she was ready to wrestle. We have to realize that the women in WWE, they have went up like 10 times more than it was when Carmella was in WWE before. And the competition got very thick, as they say. And think about it, Carmella, I don't think she was ready. You heard the postpartum, the things she said on her Instagram. Now, that was just last month. You could tell that she had a very rough pregnancy, and a postpartum afterwards. I don't think she was mentally ready to be going back to wrestling. And I think WWE saw that she wasn't ready, and they couldn't just wait on Carmella forever. There are lots of talented women on the WWE roster and more talented than Carmella. I mean, also, too, I think Carmella's comparing herself to Becky Lynch. She had a baby, and she was able to come back. She had one of the fastest pregnancies to come back ever. She came back within a year after having her pregnancy and having her daughter. And we know she returned at SummerSlam 2021. That was in Las Vegas. Now, we know she came back. She won the then SmackDown Women's Championship. That's one example. And then also, we know recently who also had a baby was Alexa Bliss. She also had a daughter. Now, she had a pregnancy. She was gone. She just came back this year in 2025. She was similar to Carmella, being out for 2 years. And we know she made her long-awaited return and re-signed with WWE following the Royal Rumble PLE, where she made her return in a dark character for Alexa Bliss. The reason I'm saying that because I think Carmella's watching these women like Alexa and Becky, and she thought, those two had a baby just like I did. They can come back. I didn't come back. You're not Becky, and you're not Alexa. That's the thing about it, Carmella. You did your thing, but you're nowhere near on the level of the man Becky Lynch or Twisted Bliss or Miss Little Bliss, as they call Alexa. You're not on that level. So that's the thing about it. It sucks, but that's just how it goes in the business. And also recently, Carmella couldn't pick a worse time to come back. A lot of releases have been happening in WWE lately. We know that. A lot of releases has been happening, not just for the men, but for the women especially. A lot of releases, and there's more coming, unfortunately. So, Carmella, you're not the only woman in WWE in recent memory who WWE who decided not to renew your contract. You're not the only one in that position. Now, yes, you are a mother. You just had a baby. You're the only one that just had a baby, but you're not the only one. If you guys remember recently, not too long ago, Sonya Deville, who also was with WWE for 10 years, almost as long as Carmella, WWE also decided not to renew her contract. And you remember what she said on her interview following not being renewed by WWE.
There's so many things to that. First and foremost, I had the greatest 10 years of my life. So grateful. The stories on the road, the traveling, the wrestling, the performing. I lived out dreams that I could have never imagined. I did imagine them. I think I manifested them as a child, but never could have even dreamt something so incredible. So grateful to the WWE. And at the end of the day, it's a business. And I think business-minded.
Now, Sonya Deville, shout out to her. Now, of course, she wasn't happy about not being renewed by WWE, but she was humble about it. She said at the end of the day, it's a business. She's not being bitter and whining like Carmella is. Same thing happened to her. Now, before we go any further, I understand Sonya Deville didn't have a baby. She didn't give a birth and all that. I understand all of that. Before you guys get in my comments trying to defend Carmella, I know she did not give birth to a child, but she was there almost as long as Carmella, and the same thing happened to her as Carmella say ghosted. She wasn't ghosted. They told her, we are not renewing your contract. Bon voyage. Adios. They told the same thing to Sonya Deville. She was more humble about it. She did not get an attitude about it. She took that, chalked it up to experience, and she went and moved on with her life. That's what Carmella needs to do. Leah Van Dale, whatever she goes by now, she should do the same thing, because She's not the only one in that boat. And it's just sad that if you like WWE and what they did for you, why are you getting upset saying that it is, after 12 years, the bogus way to leave you? I don't think they ghosted her. I think it's a bunch of BS, honestly. They just told her, we're not going to renew you, Thank you for your work. And that's it. They have to move on, which WWE is doing clearly. Carmella needs to do the same thing. That's all I'm saying as far as Leah Van Dale goes. She has to do that. And she's up here whining, complaining, and she also made an announcement. If you guys remember, check out what I have to say in this podcast. Made an announcement before she went on the podcast that she has a lot to say. So I already knew when she made that announcement that when there's smoke, there's fire. She was going to come and say some stuff, and it wasn't going to be in the most pleasant form. Like I said, she said, watch the Hour podcast. There's nothing more to explain. You said what you had to say. You say it was in your truth. If my thing with Carmel, you answer this question for me, guys, in the chat. If there was no issue, she's in her truth and telling everything. Why did you have to go make a video saying, don't believe all the clips and everything? You said it out of your own mouth. You said this stuff. This is what you said in the interview. So I'm confused. It's like you're trying to backtrack and backpedal what you said. And that is no good. What you said is what you said. And there's no coming back from that. You are feeling some type of way about WWE. Now renew your contract, and you don't like it. We get it, but don't try to backtrack what you said and try to make comments and then also you heard that crap she said on her Instagram, social media is not real, all that kind of garbage. Then why are you up here taking off these eyelashes and all this makeup and saying I'm in my truth? Carmella, you not real. You're being phony. That's the thing about in the day. You're not being realistic. You're just coming on here talking garbage, That's the whole thing about that. So that's just, I can see why WWE did not want to renew a contract with you, because the way you carry yourself, very unprofessional how she's carrying herself right now, not business savvy. Like Sonya Deville said, it's a business. She's business minded. Carmella, you are the opposite of that. You are clearly not business minded. You are in your feelings. You're emotional. Maybe, it's just a whole bunch of emotions are flying over the place with her. And I think that's just not good for business. As they say in WWE, it's not best for business to keep her around. And it's best that they went their separate ways. I mean, Carmella, you said you had a nerve damage injury and it's postpartum stuff. You had a lot of personal, mental stuff going on. Why would they take you on? And that's the whole thing of the business. You have to move on. And if you don't like it at the end of the day, you got to deal with it.
You don't like it, you can cry about it.
Week, answering some of those questions and telling my side, because I have a lot to say about the situation. So yes, stay tuned. I'll give you the details later when I can. And I can't wait to fill you guys in.
And yes, that's all I have for Carmella breaks her silence on WWE not renewing her. You guys let me know what you think of this whole situation here, because all I'm hearing is a whole bunch of word salad, backtracking, and a whole bunch of crying about. That's what she's doing. Yeah, it's bogus that you don't have a job anymore, but look at the flip side. Your husband's still there, and even he was on thin ice. You guys let me know what you think. Check out the content here on Toxic Reign Scandal, aka KDH. Until then, guys, you already know what it is. It's OUT.